And 4. Thanks, Matt. 3, 2, 1. ODS.
Home prices soared nearly 12% in February, the biggest gain since 2014. The Case-Shiller 20-City Home Price Index found rising prices in all 20 cities.
Oh, yeah, we
surveyed. Demand for housing has surged.
We can do a video next.
Those working from home are looking for a more space or even a different location, and low mortgage rates are also encouraging buyers. And along with those low interest rates, we know that square footage is the driving factor for home sales. But what else are buyers searching for?
Shots
Well, a
sing
new
to a
Bank
Sutton
of
Charlie.
America Home Buyer Insights survey finds nearly 50% want to buy in the suburbs, while more than a quarter want to buy in rural areas, a large increase from last year's report.
Them too.
And next at 5, a measure aimed at helping police track down
next.
kidnapping victims is now one step closer to becoming law.
And the family behind it knows firsthand that it can save lives.
Charlie.
When your child is missing,
Opening 3 to 2.
You don't sleep, you don't do anything but try to find them.
Coming up, how the bill could help locate crime victims faster. Plus, storms ravage parts of south central Oklahoma. A look at the cleanup efforts underway after a tornado hit parts of Pauls Valley.
And rolling 3.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 5.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Kevin Ogle.
And I'm Heather Holman.
Box is next.
Is in full gear now. Let's get straight over to Mike in the Fort Warren Storm Center. Mike, we're talking about flooding today.
We are. Flash flood advisories in effect. Been a general slight weakening trend here in the past half hour in Oklahoma City, but still some heavy downpours.
Our head is going to be at the Dijax.
The weather has the attention of a lot of folks today. These shear funnels. Have you heard that term, shear funnels? There's been quite a few of them, including right here in the Oklahoma City Metro. We're going to check in with our trackers here coming up. So here's the flooding video. It says Mustang Hail, but flooding video from Soldier Creek over in Midwest City from Leah Ozzie there. Flood-prone area over there, Soldier Creek. And we had some rotation here, very, very weak. Western side of Oklahoma City. This was right around 4 o'clock, 4:30. But at 3:30, we had one of these shear funnels right here from Stacy at 164th and Portland, looking to the west. A lot of folks saw this. Central Oklahoma, northern Oklahoma, Enid area, Ponca City, Blackwell. There are no tornado warnings, not any. There haven't been all afternoon. There are no severe thunderstorm warnings. Flood advisories right now. Flash flood watch continues, and multiple flood advisories, including Perry, Noble County, back in the West Metro,
we'll have an opening 3
Southeast
to
Metro,
1 on
South
Heather.
Metro, and the far Southwest Metro. Here's radar. Heaviest activity now from central Oklahoma up into northern Oklahoma. These have de-energized just a bit in the past 15 to 30 minutes or so. Still some heavy downpours of rain going over saturated ground, flood-prone areas. Let's go to Brian Winslow. Brian.
Yeah, Mike, we're on Northwest Highway. Traffic is moving along fine. There's a lot of water on the roads. The rain, kind of where we are, is starting to move out.
Going back to Max 1 next.
Haven't seen any accidents, but if you got to get out, give yourself some extra time and some extra space, and we'll be out here keeping an eye on back here.
So this heavy activity extends back to the southwest along the cold front. Heavy downpours of rain here on the oversaturated ground, and the North Metro here that weakened a bit around Guthrie. They've definitely picked up, though, up the cold front, up around the Perry area where flood advisories are now in effect as well. This is very heavy rain here. Lightning and thunder, Corey Inman.
Yeah, Mike, still here at 177 and 412. You're looking back to the west. It's going to be northwest.
Open to 1 next.
We did have a quick funnel spin up there just a few minutes ago, but it quickly dissipated. A lot of heavy rain here from northwest of Perry up to southeast of Ponca City as this thing is kind of intensified the last 15 or 20 minutes.
Action definitely has shifted up here to the north. Let's go back to radar and flood advisories. And these shear funnels here, Red Rock Sears over toward Morrison, very close to Perry as well, and perhaps on down to Stillwater. But here in the metro, this lingering flood advisories, a lot of this has been weakening a bit in the past half hour to 40 minutes. Not a whole lot of lightning and thunder out there. And again, there have been no tornado warnings this afternoon anywhere in our state. This evening, moderate storm chances, guys, do continue. It'll tend to taper off toward the 7 and 8 o'clock hour, 64-10. That forecast.
10 by 3. Rolling 3.
All right, Mike, thank you. Well, cleanup is underway this evening in Pauls Valley after a tornado ripped through part of town. Multiple buildings were damaged, including 2 barns on one family's property. News 4's Emily Akins was first on the scene and spoke with the homeowner.
Alpha.
emotional moments for this family as they come outside and see the damage that was left behind. They say this is what they've been building for years and years.
After
and
Heather's
now
tag,
we'll
we'll have it opening 3 to 3 on the big board.
It's been
This one's
heartbreak
$135.
and a lot of cleanup for Eddie Menifee Wednesday. His longtime family property torn up by a tornado.
The wind was blowing real hard, and it got louder and louder.
He and his wife were asleep when it started.
I'd venture to say it lasted 2 minutes, maybe. If that long.
And by the time it was over, most of his life's work gone.
Stepped outside and seen that I'd lost basically my whole little world.
Eddie's family has owned this land since the early 1900s. He worked to build the 2 barns that once stood here.
67 years of my life.
So to see it with broken trees and pieces of metal strewn out for acres was devastating.
I had a good cry when I seen the one here at the house.
He says thankfully the storm didn't do any major damage to the house where his grandsons were also sleeping.
We'll tag on one, open 3 to the big board next.
Just thank God that the house is still here and families together.
Garvin County Emergency Management tells News 4 up to 8 buildings were damaged, but thankfully no one was injured. And he says this could have ended much worse.
You go forward.
10.
We can't go backwards. We got to go forward.
In Pauls Valley, Emily Akins, Oklahoma's News 4.
That is a
A couple of windows were also
3
broken
to 3.
home, and he had multiple animals on his property as well, including some horses, but some good news.
Frame sync 4,
They all
sorry.
seem to be doing okay.
Rolling 3. Frame sync 1.
Using a cell phone to locate a person during an abduction. Federal laws are not cut and dry on the subject, but there is a bill passing through the Oklahoma legislature now that lawmakers say would save lives. News 4's Capitol Bureau Chief, Brent Skarkey, is live at the Capitol. Brent, tell us more.
Well, Kevin, it's
Talking
called
to a
the
package in
Kelsey
Bravo
Smith Act
next.
that allows law enforcement to work with wireless providers to locate cell phones in the case of an emergency. And one couple in Kansas knows firsthand it can be a matter of life and death.
Bravo.
If Tyler's missing, you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't do anything but try
This one's
to
145.
find
We'll go back
that
on frame sync 1 for the tag. Then we'll do the tease. It'll be camera 2 to a grandma 10 to a
Missy and
grandma
Greg Smith talking about 2007 when their 18-year-old daughter Kelsey was abducted from a Kansas City area shopping center parking lot.
The calls that we were making and the police were making were to the customer service branch of the cell phone company, and we were dealing with
For the tease, it's a great state thought in Charlie, man.
really didn't have any experience or know what they do.
The cell phone company was also worried about violating privacy laws. When law enforcement finally got clearance to locate Kelsey's phone, 4 days later, her body was found in just 45 minutes.
If we have an abduction out there, minutes are critical. Hours are devastating. Days are just, it usually doesn't end well, quite frankly.
Senator Darrell Weaver spent almost 30 years in law enforcement. He authored the bill in Oklahoma. The Kelsey Smith Act allows law enforcement agencies around the state to go through the OSBI to contact cell phone providers in the case of an abduction or if a victim is believed to be in imminent danger. Weaver says it can be an important tool.
I don't think this will be used often. I don't think it's something that is like a hammer you pull out every day, but it's something that's that special wrench in that toolbox that they can pull out and maybe save someone's life.
The bill's co-author, Representative Worthen, says it also could be used to locate an elderly missing person with dementia. The Smiths, in an effort to prevent the same thing from happening to anyone else, have helped to get similar legislation passed in 27 other states. Their efforts already saving the life of a baby in Kansas.
You do start crying because that baby is alive, because our baby isn't.
And Brent.
Well, the Oklahoma
All right,
version
tease
of the
next.
Kelsey
2
Smith
right on
Act passed through the
10.
Senate this afternoon. It's now onto the desk of the governor to be signed into law. From the Capitol, Brent Skarkey, Oklahoma's News 4.
That should pass soon. Thank you, Brent. Well, it is not just a restaurant. It's fine.
Right, almost like a speakeasy from those days gone by. Galen Culver shares how the owner got his start.
And Sing to See.
He kind of grew up here. Bill and Judy Coddington's son Rick did everything, including tend this bar. I'm Galen Culver on the Next Great State. One of the most unique restaurant success stories in the state. Hard to find, hard to get in, but serving up tradition with every meal. We'll head to the Rusty Barrel with an appetite. Next on Oklahoma's News 4.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 5 with Kevin Ogle, Heather Holman, Mike Morgan, and Brian Brinkley. Oklahoma's News 4. looking out for you.
All right, awesome. 2, 3, 2, 1, and D.
Is this a great state or what? Is sponsored by Leoki. We got you, Oklahoma.
And welcome back. You know, if someone invited you over for a steak dinner and you didn't know exactly where they lived, of course you have to get directions on how to get there and then ring the doorbell when you arrive.
Well, Galen Culver invites us along to a hard-to-find restaurant in Ponca City that expects its customers to do the very same thing.
And check out
The sign outside needs an arrow to point the way down an alley to a locked door
camera 3 for the tag.
where customers still have to ring a bell to get inside.
And it's camera 2 for
Rick Hancock grew up with this old speakeasy kind of entrance. Now, as the owner of the Rusty Barrel, he wouldn't dare change it.
You can't change things too much for people in Ponca City. Whatever you do, don't change. You got to do things subtly.
Rick's mom and dad took over the Rusty Barrel in 1976, shortly after it opened. The place seated less than 25 then, and it really was a supper club in the classic sense. Membership required, no liquor by the drink back then.
The gentlemen will bring their own bottles.
But whatever it was about the atmosphere, the food, even changing liquor laws,
I used to attend this bar back in 84.
People in Ponca didn't want this place to change. They liked the doorbell. They liked the Rusty Barrel staying rustic.
Well, who would have thought that a place you had to walk down an alley and then ring a doorbell behind a big wooden door to get in would last this long, but it certainly has, yeah.
When Rick came back to take over for his parents, he did make the place a little bigger, more tables, and a pretty good-sized bar and lounge behind the dining room.
It took us about 8 months, but we opened up in December.
Rick tinkered with some new ideas, too, like specializing in a big selection of whiskeys and bourbons, even one with his name on the bottle.
It's been fun. I really enjoy it.
But it really is still the same Rusty Barrel that cooks steaks to order, still the same salad bar, still the same alley entrance, and still the same loyal customers that insist you keep to the basics.
I'm the caretaker of everything that my folks have built over the years.
That make this place the institution it's become. In Ponca City, Galen Culver, News 4. Is this a great state or what?
Heather's Mike.
That looks like a fun place to visit. And the Rusty Barrel is located on North 14th Street behind the strip mall there in Ponca City. And the main entrance is in the alley around the back, and you really do have to ring the bell to have a waitress let you in.
That is very cool. You know what is very strange is the way it looks outside right now. Mike's talking about these weird little funnels.
Yeah, a lot of folks are talking about those too. Yeah, shear funnels, they're weak. They rarely touch down, but a lot of folks have seen them. Our storm trackers have seen some of these too. There's one trying to form right there live from one of our storm trackers. So good rains in parts of the metro over 3 inches and a few rain gauges, flood advisories. Complete roundup, your weather forecast.
And fade and roll it. Nice. 2:30. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling. Green.
Yeah. Here at the traffic here, since we're in the afternoon drive. This is the traffic pattern map for the metro. The south metro's at the bottom of your screen, the north metro's in the top of your screen, North Oklahoma City. So a few areas here to kind of point out to you. The 240 I-35 interchange, also I-44, the western side of town, from near Mathis Brothers and Whitewater Bay down to the airport. And then a bit very close to downtown, the Tinker Diagonal, slow in spots as well. Green is good, yellow's fine, orange and red. That's where it's either completely or close to being completely stopped or slowing down dramatically. That's the live traffic pattern. Earlier, there were 400 folks without power. Could have been weather related as well. Let's go ahead and take a look. Our storm trackers are out. Got some showers and thunderstorms out there. Here's what's going on. We have scattered rain here in Oklahoma City, enough to produce 3 inches of it, especially down near Midwest City and parts of Moore. Soldier Creek in park-prone areas is flooding right now. Not too unusual, but, the April rains have finally come. And some of these shear funnels here, one trying to form right there on our time-lapse camera from 50 pin. And northwest Oklahoma City, northwest 164th, and Portland looking to the west. One of the shear funnels there from Stacy. That was right around 3:15 this afternoon. A lot of folks saw it. Northern Oklahoma as well. Blackwell, Tonkawa, Union area, Perry area, more shear funnels. Some of these more than halfway down the ground. They're quite weak. They're not especially dangerous. They only rarely touch down. When they do, the winds in them are not very strong. 69 degrees right now. Showers and thunderstorms. Southerly breeze. breeze at 8 miles an hour. A mix of upper 60s to 70s and 70s, low to 79. We're cooling off now. Cold fronts coming into Oklahoma City with some widespread showers and thunderstorms. There are no tornado watches. There are no tornado warnings. We've not had one tornado warning throughout the afternoon and no severe thunderstorm warnings, but these shear funnels, which are very weak, and flood advisories. That's been the theme. The light green outlined areas where the current flood advisories are in effect, and that includes a pretty good part of the Oklahoma City metro, as storms have been lighting up very close to a cold front now, pushing in to the Oklahoma City metro. So here's the latest radar. Pretty hefty rain and storms now, west Oklahoma City, down to Mustang, Yukon, Bethany, War Acres, Whitewater Bay. Let's check with our tracker. Start you off here with Brian Winslow. Brian?
Yeah, Mike, we're at Lake Hefner looking back to the west, southwest at that core coming over Bethany and War Acres, and you can see in the shot there, that's just a horrendous amount of rain. It's actually working its way across the lake right now as we're sitting here looking at it. So, you know, it's going to cause some travel problems as people commute home from work. So remember to get yourself some space between you and the vehicle in front of you and take your time. And this is going to just aggravate the play from the rains earlier, and we'll be out here keeping an eye on it.
What a cool shot that is. There's the water right there disappearing in the heavy rain. Cool shot from Lake Hefner. Let's go back to radar here. The flood advisories continue. These storms are moving quite slowly.
Who knows who's going to call for next, so I'm just going to go with the flow at
this point. The heaviest activity is coming into west Oklahoma City, and the activity extends back down the cold front into Caddo County to the north side of Walker right now. Eric Dixon here in west Oklahoma City. Eric?
That's my vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, I'm out here in west Oklahoma City, Mustang area, checking out these storms.
Checking out the KFC.
Yeah, I got a bucket. Oh, it's by my house. You want to pick you up some and meet you?
Get the 6 piece?
Okay, thank you, Eric. Let's go back over to radar here. So this will tend to
spells it with an A.
as we head through the 7 and 8 o'clock hour in the metro as the cold front continues to come in. Storms, though, are quite strong up in northern Oklahoma. A little bit more lightning here, some shear funnels as well. Corey Inman looking at one right now.
All right.
Yeah, Mike, right here along 412 north of Morrison, looking back to the west, and you can see this area. Base is kind of ragged and scary looking clouds in there. There is a little bit of slow rotation. We did have a brief funnel about 15 minutes ago, and this one area keeps trying to spin just a little bit. But as quick as these storms intensified, they've started to lose their intensity too. It's just a lot of heavy rain. We've lost the cloud ground lightning that we had a few minutes ago. So a lot of heavy rain here from northeastern area to southeast part of the state.
Corey Inman. Here's the big view on radar. So northwestern Oklahoma really calming down considerably. There are a couple of storms out by Mangum and Elk City. A couple of pockets of small pea and shot size hail there. Moderate storm chances continue this evening with a trend for things to be coming down in that 7 o'clock time frame. The cold front comes through. 57 degrees in the morning, mostly cloudy skies. By that time, the rain and storm chances basically are gone. There may be a 20% chance of a brief shower tomorrow, slow clearing, and a temperature of 70 for a daytime high. So 57 tonight, rain and storms tapering off in that 7 to 8 o'clock time frame. There's your Oklahoma forecast for tonight. Low to moderate to high probability of showers and thunderstorms. Southeastern Oklahoma, cooler in the central and northwest. Woodward 49 tonight and 70. Gradual slow clearing here in Oklahoma City with a cool northeasterly breeze. High temperatures mostly from 70 to 73 for your Thursday. A few showers in southern Oklahoma and for Friday also nice.
You can wrap it up on the next block.
Light easterly breeze with fair to partly cloudy skies. Here's my 7-day plus 4. Rain and storms diminish this evening. 57 tonight, 70 tomorrow. 50 to 75. Pleasant temperatures here. 54 to 74 Saturday, 74 Sunday. Showers and thunderstorms may increase later Sunday into Monday. Then some 70s on that 7-day plus 4 this afternoon.
Fade roll. 310. In 4, 3, 2, 1. We are up.
Welcome back. We just want to check back in with you on this. A lot of folks are really tracking the weather carefully. We've had these shear funnels out there. They're very, very weak, but there have been a lot of them. They got the attention of a lot of folks. Flood advisories, these continue for a pretty good part of the metro. And radar right here shows how this activity continues to move into Oklahoma City. Some pretty heavy storms now on the western side of town. And there's radar for the metro. So from West Edmond down to War Acres and Bethany, down to I-40 and County Line. out there by Yukon, the Xerox plant. Motion is to the east. There's been a very slow diminishing trend in most of these. Not impossible still to get a few shear funnels around, especially this activity up here in north central Oklahoma. We're tracking it carefully, and we'll be right back.
Ready to roll. Beautiful. 345. 5, 4, 3, 2. Start your move. 1, and we are up.
Well, Mike will keep you updated on the weather, including those shear funnels he's been talking about.
That's right. They won't do any damage if they even touch down, but very rarely do they. Tiny little fingers come down in the sky. You see one, but the biggest threat might be some flooding out there. Might be heavy rain.
I've been moving out.
Sweet.